DS.
I didn't even realize that neither Crit nor Mitsu had ever played Chen for EG. Thank you, the illustrious Knoxville.
I like that we're able to stats back. Tim's. That is pretty good catch there with the cogs. They're going to be able to bump back, and all the damage that Cuckoo's dealing with those souls, they picked up nice and early. Threatened the opposing support. That being said, our Viper does push back into the Shadow Fiend. I'm imagining this is going to be a lane that EG should be able to get a bit of an advantage on, but they have to take that advantage early, and this Clockwork's doing. Securing that lane to make sure they get overrun by the Tusk. And SF gets that level 5 where you can two-shot creep.
Tusk already scaring up on his own as he rolls in just for some more harass. Man, they've actually gotten a lot of damage down.
And it's going to be Cuckoo down already. The rotation coming out looks like, I think they did a snowball grab on the Satyr. And that's one of the big advantages of Tusk Chen, right?
Yeah, very nice. I mean, easily just send that thing mid, get some damage on Cuckoo, and it's like, yeah, it's one kill in the enemy mid laner, but it's those souls. I mean, that's why you basically do this whole clock SF thing. And now he's lost that advantage. Now he's in that bad matchup with being down the kill up against the Viper, and Tusk is by far more effective in the mid lane too, so you kind of know he's always going to wind up there. But we certainly haven't talked too much about the side of TNC. Raven playing on the Weaver this game. I like to think of Raven as this like just kind of crazy, like super hard carry kind of play. You know, those TB games, that's where I feel like he really shines. So it'll be interesting to see if he kind of gets that same thing going here with the Weaver. Somebody who tends to be maybe a little bit slower to farm.
And he is playing a hero that definitely is able to outplay. Right?
Yep.
It's like a high skill ceiling hero. He does have a pretty good matchup. I mean, he's just facing up against at a bad, imagine, decent lane for him, especially as time goes on. Probably a little bit. That has
yeah. And lane matchups, definitely the big story near the end of this draft as well, especially whenever the Batrider is going to come out. EG, I didn't particularly enjoy the Lifestealer just because look what you're playing up against. You've got yourself the Warlock ultimate, you've got Clockwork Hook, you've got Batrider in general, but they had to have people that can deal with the lanes of the Batrider. You have to be able to handle that sticky napalm, so Lifestealer can do his own thing with the Rage. Just Crit picks up another one there mid on Cuckoo, and Sumail would then have the Aphotic Shield, so there wasn't an option for Samh to just run somebody over this game.
I mean, if they actually manage to keep this at SF, Raven may be a great player, but the Weaver itself is not going to come online terribly strong at minutes if their SF is clusters. So yeah. I could see EG's kind of game plan here is keep the SF down, they can roll to that mid-game period, really take it to TNC, they won't be able to fight back too well.
Yeah, wave clear also doesn't look that great for TNC either, in terms of like that early push and pressure. The best thing they're going to have is like flares, honestly. And even at that point, Tim's probably won't have the levels into the rockets quite yet.
They won't really have a good option when it comes to Batrider. I don't know, I'm kind of feeling, I know the panel was not too about EG. I kind of like it. I like the opening of Jen Tusk. It feels like that is a great supportive.
Yeah, and when we've gotten to see that pressure be successful on the SF. I mean, that's such a huge keystone of this entire draft for EG. And since now we're luckily 4 minutes into the game, we can see it's been going quite well for them. It gives you a much better opportunity to kind of see this be successful. Crit not able to find any sort of a snowball tire. He's going to try and just wait it out.
There he goes. Hey, he's going to take a lot of damage though and should end up going down. A little bit surprised that he didn't try and snowball.
It's like worst case scenario too.
Yeah.
Like now he just gives the kill to the SF.
Goes right back in it. Whoops, 17. Ignore those denies. Nice, they're going to go in deep for Viper here. Crit's already here, hoping to be able to get the counter kill onto Cuckoo. There is a heal coming out from 1437, but it's not going to be enough to save the SF underneath that tower. Amount of damage. In the end, it is exchange here. Which I kind of feeling like benefits TNC. Maybe it doesn't, just because you end up losing souls. But I guess in my mind, if you're trading back and forth in this mid lane, I think you're feeling okay.
Yeah, keeping things even. Don't let them get into sort of like a big snowball lead, and then from there, that's when TNC is going to try and kind of delay this game out a little bit, play it a bit later, and everything just looks better. The core counters, I'd say, favor the side of TNC as we move in that mid-late game.
TP out from SamH, but he is just TPing to his tower. Not TPing all the way back, so it's not like he forced entirely. So we're actually pretty even on CS between our two mid laners, which is a good sign because the SF, it's a good sign for TNC. The SF can just start exploding in farm. Once he starts getting those higher level raises, plays off neutrals. Yep. Locked in Tim's here is not feeling too happy about his position. It looks like he is going to go down. Another pickup, a 2,000 gold lead right now for Evil Geniuses at just 5.5 minutes in, but that can be turned around here. Sumail is going to be slowed down. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get out of this one. He does have wand charges, looking to be able to get on top of the shrine, picks up the shrine ever so barely.
Careful.
Managed to get off the aphotic shield before Raven could touch him with that Shikuchi, and now he's got the lane advantage. Weaver going to have to go back and activate his own shrine.
And Sumail also, well, he's thinking about going for that bottle too to try and like control up that area, but it's certainly going to be a difficult thing up against the Weaver, as well as even just like the Warlock hanging around. So I'm not sure if he'll wind up opting for that in the end. Oh, we have amounted to a 2K lead here for EG, and with this much free space, yeah, I'm curious to see what Sumail does, if he feels like he can make those rotations, because somebody needs to go into that jungle and try and deal with this SF, because there's obviously this fallback land for Cuckoo, and it gives Crit a nice place to go once the mid opens up. Misery as well, of course, going to be scouting it out with creeps too, but I'm not sure how active Arteezy will be able to be. That's probably been like the big question mark, I guess, for a lot of EG's games lately, is how involved he can get in the early game.
Sumail does have his ultimate. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Actually pops there right before he can get off the aphotic shield. So that's going to be on cooldown now with the mid lane. Crit is going to pop that snowball, trying to slow down this clockwork. Oh, Viper actually gets pushed a little bit. That's unfortunate. Crit needed that extra health, and it looks like the dive at bottom lane does manage to pick up the kill onto Sumail. Tick, tick, tick. Tim's barely lives through that one. It looks like Cuckoo is also barely lived through that poison. Not quite enough gas in the tank there for either one of them.
Completely trading blows in the mid, hasn't even picked up his boots yet. They're just now on the way, just kind of standing his ground, trying to fire back with those raises. I don't know, 2, 3, and 0. Considering the pressure, probably call that fairly well, I guess, for a lane, but it'll all be about that recovery time. But if you want to retreat to the jungle, we will head straight for your structures. And the army is here from Misery. I see a catapult there as well, stolen from the Dire.
He's spotted out by the ward. Evil Geniuses placed that one to see a rotation like this, to see that SF when he comes back. Now they do have Raven here, so they can see if they can get a support kill, but Chen is actually sent back to Tusk. He's hiding in a snowball. He's gonna have just a split second here before he gets sent back, it looks like, or not. Did he actually get sent back?
No, I guess he...
I don't think he did.
He didn't get it.
I didn't see the buff on him when he came out of snowball.
Almost had it. But alas. So still a 3K lead, so they lose crit, but they force a lot of rotations. I guess just under 3K now at this point. And that tier 1 tower now suffering down to just below half HP. So SF showing in the bottom lane. Curious to see just how long it takes EG to run right back mid, because it certainly feels like the main focus feeling like already on that top tower.
Should go for it. Arteezy is actually going to TP out, but they're already going on to mid lane. 1437 being dove deep from the tier 1 tower, and there's nobody from TNC to stop it. So it looks like they are going to be able to take control of this mid area, take that tier 1 tower. TNC is just not going to be able to protect it. And that is a bit unfortunate. Evil Genius is really taking the timing here to make sure they take some of these outer towers, and that opens up the jungle, in which case we were talking about, right? That's where the SF really flourishes. In that 10 to 15 minute marker, he starts really farming out of control, and that can easily be shut down with Evil present on the map.
I feel like TNC are in real trouble at this point. I'm looking towards, like, what hero do I want to try and bring us back into this game from TNC, and it's probably going to be my Bat Rider, but he didn't get any assistance top. The Clockwork had to play mid the whole time with the Shadow Fiend. The Warlock was playing bottom with the Weaver, and so now SamH is on recovery time. This is a nice stack to find, because he needs these kind of plays. He can't really afford to go drums, I don't think, first, so he's stuck kind of going for that instant Blink Dagger, and you have to have that, like, perfect execution to make these plays work to try and get back. I mean, you're looking for, like, lasso into, like, triple raises or something to try and bring yourself back into it.
And you gotta maybe target, I don't know, do you think he's gonna have to target the Abaddon?
Yeah,
but you can't blow up that hero, but at the same time you target someone else. I really like the idea that just going straight to the that feels necessary, considering the fact that just running in and lassoing is Sumail to go for the counter. Here's trouble. AMH.
I'm gonna let him go. I guess they just assumed he would have TP'd. Creeps are following him around there now, and they really just don't care.
I mean, you just waste so much time trying to chase a hero that at the end of the day, set up on a clip. Yeah. Arteezy, not going to be hit by any of those. I like the fact that Raven's also trying to be pretty active. Just trying to make up for the fact that he knows Evil Genius is trying to shut them down nice and early. He's got to be a little less farm, a little fight. 1437 blocked in by the beautiful ice shards and crit. Probably another kill for Evil Geniuses, 7-4.
It's nice the way that Raven's playing up top too. No one else can go up there and farm right now. There's no TP locations nearby. You can't really send this Bat Rider or the Shadow King. Bat Rider could probably get away with it, I guess, but SF certainly not. It's just much safer for Raven compared to anyone else.
For Raven, it's going to challenge these creeps. It's going to get a couple here, but Elbear smash. But this is the beauty of the Weaver, and it was a really great last big Weaver, right? It counters the Life Stealer, it's one of the classic counters to the hero. Yep. There's not hardly any control whatsoever for the Weaver. So this game drifts a little bit too long, and Weaver kind of made
They know they're coming here. They moved through a ward before they smoked, and so I think he was trying to block the hooks.
They're going to be able to get the cogs, keeping RTZ inside of that one as long as possible. They're also going to drop the Golem here to be able to slow down Misery, see if they can get that kill. Nice turnaround with the Ensnare. RTZ is going to try and get that kill. The TP's out. Max TP's. Cuckoo's not going to make it, though.
Yeah, very nice aggressive warding from EG to kind of spot that rotation flank here. I mean, when there's an SF and a Clock just like running into their own jungle, even though they didn't see the smoke, they definitely understood. There's a Clock level 6 with an Arcane Rune, and they have to get back into this game. You know, he's going to try and make a play, and SF's the only one who really has the damage to make that happen right now in a burst that is going to work near a shrine, but this looks familiar.
Good courier scouting.
He just keeps finding himself in these ice shards, man. Crit has been just unbelievable on Tusk over the past, like, 2 tournaments, obviously, with Galaxy Battles, and then even the games I've seen with him here. Looks so good on the heroes, especially in that first 12 minutes when it really matters. But Sumail down bottom. Yeah, he's going to be forced to pop the ultimate. Now, fortunately, he's going to get back to full HP here, but it won't matter if he's taking too much sticky napalm and is still underneath that Firefly Sam H. He's going to be able to close that distance and starts getting some damage. Look at Sumail pop at the drums, just getting that extra bit of movement speed to stay ahead of Sam H. And it looks like it's going to be enough. Good block out from Crit to make sure that Sumail is able to escape to safety. A little bit of space, but considering the speed at which EG took their lead, at least for positives for TNC, they're not exploding any sort of like a big pace right now, staying relatively level considering the situation, but we're probably building up into that round of items for EG where they're going to make that push into the tier 2s.
Ooh, a double damage, that's going to hurt. Fear is going to be chased underneath the tower. Chen is going to give him the heal, but Raven's going to go for the dive and then pop that time lapse back to full HP.
Nice grab too. And he's not going to get much tankier either. We were talking about the idea of maybe the Helmet Dominator or something the Law Vipers pick up, but we are up against that Clockwork. So it's Fear who's been chosen to purchase that Force Staff.
Damn H. Tempted run down here from Crit, and his Firefly runs out. That puts him in a nasty position. He has a TP scroll, but Crit also has a big bad fist. We can go ahead and stop him at any moment. So Sam H is going to try and TP out. Another kill for Sumail. He, greedy as he is, goes to 4-4-1 build and picks up the last hit with his Q.
And starts thinking about Radiance.
Yeah. I expected him to actually be a lot more active in rotating into mid. I thought it was going to be necessary for him to actually be joining Evil Geniuses when they went for that mid push and such, but he's just chilled out in that bottom lane, and he is very rapidly turning into kind of a carry bad here. 5,600 net worth right now. RTZ is going to be picked up by Bugs, but he does have Infest.
Tim's is waiting for that Rage TP.
Yep. So instead it's going to be the Infest now. They got to kill that creep somehow. See if they can deny their own. Then RTZ is going to be forced to pop out. And that is when Tim's will strike. RTZ is forced to pop out now. Gets him inside the cogs. RTZ now has to just man fight, look to get the kill onto Tim's before he ends up dying. Magic Wand buys him a little bit more time. Slow down, and that's going to be enough. He gets it far enough away from Tim's, then he now has to turn on 1437. But it's too much for him to handle. RTZ goes down again.
TNC here to try cleanup, but
yeah, they're a bit too late to this one.
Not enough friends around him. Oh, Misery certainly had that impact in the mid lane right at the beginning of the game, but other than that, I guess it's hard to tell how much vision he's providing in terms of like the creeps running around and everything, but aside from that like tier 1 top and tier 1 mid, we haven't really seen that extra push coming in. EG not really feeling that pressure, maybe feeling like that next round of items again is just too important. The Force Staff is done on Fear, so that's going to help a lot in terms of how they want to fight around those structures. And, I wouldn't mind seeing them try and pressure bot a little bit more though. Feels like they're giving away quite a bit to the side of TNC.
TNC hasn't, considering the fact we were looking at like a 2,000 gold lead by 5 minutes, now it's only 4,000 at 15. Seems like TNC is kind of stabilized. Isn't bleeding out too much. They're getting some counter kills. They've gotten a TZ recently, very important.
And now we can, like, we're at that part of the game where you can think more about like Roche and stuff too as being actual possibilities as the minutes start to go by. Those are those new options that open up for you to try and get back in the game. They're trying another aggressive play here.
Crit's going to be the one who pops a smoke here. He's got Snowball to buy himself time, and he does have his whole team here. Sumel's actually going to be able to jump in here. They actually quickly turn on to Fear. They're going to try and kill that Viper instead. SF lets loose the ultimate. They're also low. They're in a perfect position for raises, but one of them is Sumel. He's got his ultimate activated. Look to be able to put pressure on Cuckoo, but again, the Warlock is slowing everybody down so much they couldn't actually go for that kill, so Cuckoo is able to TP out, and instead they're going to try and lock down and finish off 1437. So they lost support for support there. A lot better for Evil Geniuses than it looked initially. TNC, considering that was a 4-man smoke gank, I do not think that they're very happy the way that fight went.
Yeah, support for support, not a big deal. They got a little bit more gold out of it just because they're behind.
What is this dive behind tower here? I saw RTZ just roll up behind the tier 2, but trying to threaten a Weaver, that's certainly not going to work.
Yeah, this is kind of what we're looking for though from Misery, where he's got that catapult now from the last siege wave. Trying to hope everyone will group up and make something happen, but the shrine's nearby. They will pop it now, at the very least, just for Raven, so that helps out a lot for this next engagement if they can take it before that's back up.
Raven, he's got that level 10, he's got the stat items, so this is where Weaver starts coming online as a bit of a damage dealer, a bit of a threat in some of these skirmishes.
Man, Sam H has caught up a lot though. He's gotten all the space down bottom. He just let the siege wave take the tower as well.
Okay, we're going to control him pretty well. Good Centaur stomp, see if they can actually get him, but now the time lapse. They just don't have enough hard lockdown. They've got what? They've got any Chen creeps, Walrus Punch, and Snowball.
We have 3 cores with no stun, so a little bit of a rough situation there.
The Evil Geniuses. It is enough to force the Weaver back, and the more important idea here for Evil Geniuses is just to take towers, take map control. You may not be able to keep them down, but you at least try and shorten the length of this game.
And with that lack of stuns too, we haven't talked about it too much, but like Sam H, he doesn't have a lot of threats. I mean, that last time they abandoned him just down bottom because that chase it's rough. If Tusk isn't there, it's a freebie. You're just getting out of there, essentially. You can definitely outrun any sort of Chen creeps. And he now does have that blink, so he found the space to get the drums. I like that. He saw that the pressure, like, we already lost those towers. I can't stop that, and we're finding a way to actually outmaneuver EG right now. They're not getting that pressure that they probably need to stop me from doing this, so nice and survival with the drums. Now the blink dagger, and can try and pick off a key target here. As he said before, though, Sumel, he would actually be an okay target at this point, because it's nice and juicy. He's got the most farm on the side of EG.
Yeah.
Can't burst him down too easily in the lasso. Try and lasso somebody else. He's going to Aphotic shield them. Baden guy is quite annoying.
Hey, considering I thought he was going to have his Radiance pretty early. 18 minutes in, still has not picked up.
Yeah, I guess he did die that one time too, and then he got pushed off the lane a couple times. He bought the bottle and the drums, so quite a bit of build-up items, but overall, maybe could have been a little bit faster with how much space there was.
Oh, they're going to go straight for Roshan here with all the Chen creeps. I guess why not? They're going to challenge TNC, stop them here at the Roshan pit. Already see Weavers aggressively pushing down to that bottom tier 2.
Interesting call here, and they're pretty close to the RTZ Desolator as well. But I think they feel like how fast they took down that tier 2 up top. They're just like, okay, like with drums, we destroy everything right now. So it's super tempting. They pull everyone back. It's a scary fight. There's a Clockwork. There's a Warlock. They would love to get a smoke and a pick off, but at least this is a lot of information. I mean, they all just responded.
Yeah. Force the Weaver away from that push at bottom lane. Now they are going to go for a smoke here with a Blink Dagger. This could be a huge opportunity for TNC. See what they can grab. It's going to be the Tusk first up. That's going to be an easy kill. Brit. Oh, they're actually going to go for more here. Tim snags up Sumel, gets him inside of the cogs. Now they're going to poke at him bit by bit, but not really fully committing, especially with RTZ coming in from the left-hand side. They give up on that engagement. I feel like that's really good discipline from TNC, hearing that buyback from the Tusk, calling quits on the team fight. Oh, and they just managed to pop Sumel's ultimate.
Man, that buyback actually really hurts crit too, because if they have the Blink Dagger on the Tusk too, then you're worried about Aphotic Shield, and you're worried about this Blink Snowball, and he was at 1100 or so when he died, and then he bought back, so now he's down to 550. And when you're a Tusk, that is a hell of a lot of gold.
And the net worth lead has actually trickled down to only 3,000 lead for Evil Geniuses. And again, we got to reiterate that this is a lineup that Evil Geniuses has chosen that needs to do well in the early game, that needs to have a dominant 5k, 10k sort of lead to make sure that SF and Weaver are not able to stall out the game long enough for the
little play up here. They're doing an Infest bomb play with the Snowball.
Oh, but that is going to be a beautiful setup of cogs. Tim's going to go for the TP out. Unfortunately, it looks like... Oh! Okay, never mind. Fortunately, he was able to get out. It forced the TP back, though.
And EG are gonna try and think about doing Roshan again off of this.
Still golems.
They still have hookshot too. I can't imagine this is a great idea. Evil Geniuses, they're not finding the crack in TNC's armor right now. They're not finding that one really reliable pick-off that allows them to take Roshan for free.
During this time frame, though, the farm speed of TNC has also slowed down by quite a bit. You would think that with how much EG are just like clustered around the Roche pit, that maybe they'd be getting some net worth advantage on the side of TNC. I mean, they're starting a little bit, but considering the kills and everything like that, it's still EG favored. It's just dwindled a little bit down to around the 4K mark, just high threes. And Raven's going to try and fix that by heading back down the bottom lane and going from his Hurricane Pike into the Deso next.
Take a look back again at that replay. Tim's playing that pretty well, getting the cogs just at the right time as Snowball hits him.
So close. A chunk right through him at the end there. Well, at the very least, Crit does have the 90 GPM talent rather than the 40% XP. There's some downsides to that thing, man. You know, you run into this like crazy death spawns. You know, it takes forever. You're like, I'm a support. I die so fast, and I also take so long to come back in. Levels don't really make you that much more tanky.
Yeah.
And then if that Blink Dagger is just so important this game, it can be nice to have the 90 GPM.
Yeah, certainly.
His partner not going to do the same. Misery wants that 35% XP.
It's like buying tone clockwork and stuff, and you're like, fuck. Oftentimes your whole concept is just like initiating and dying, right?
Yep.
Higher level you are.
It's the reason Blade Mail is quite good on him.
Yeah. Much like Matumba Man's Viper build.
Dude, that guy knows how to die.
He really does. He has a very intimate understanding with death. Long jump away there from Tim's. Good use of the hook shot to grab onto the neutrals.
Overall, we've discussed a lot about, you know, stuns, but the chase overall as well from EG, pretty weak, and we just hit 15 on Cuckoo, who now has that 40 movement speed. So he's just all over the place. Plus, you're dealing with a Weaver. Now it's like 2 Weaver-ish cores. They both have 4 staffs, 1 Hurricane Pike, 1 4 staff. It's just, how are you ever going to lock these guys down and kill them now? It's basically all on crit. So that Blink Dagger again, coming back into the fold.
Crit is going to relieve Sumail here, trying to put a stop to Raven's push, but honestly, the hero is just too tough to deal with in these long periods of laning, where he's just able to poke at you and burn.
Very irritating, especially for Sumail. Like, every bit of mana is so important for him.
Did you see the Aghanim's build coming out from the SF?
Oh, is he opting into it?
Yeah, he had it queued up.
Okay, he's thinking about it. I like it. Looks like he finishes Hurricane Pike first,
Hurricane
but
Pike. That's definitely needed
game.
against Lifestealer, bad kind of heroes that just like to get on top of you.
Especially
get over the ice shards. Well,
if you can pinpoint the weakness of a draft, or you can like pinpoint like why you're winning fights, or like, you know, sometimes you see a team like, oh my god, guys, I just realized they have like all magic damage, and then everyone just buys a hood or a pipe or something, and the game just feels over. This game, the catch, you know, it's just not there. If we could just get tons of 4 staffs, lots of Hurricane Pikes, this game's gonna feel very good for us on the dire side.
Maybe I'm going crazy. Maybe he was clicked on Viper at the time, because I saw, you know, Viper's obviously gonna go.
It's the new, like, well, new-ish, I guess. It's been done for a while now. This whole magic-y Viper, you get your spell steal going on.
Yeah.
And we're already right back into it. So stretch it out, head back in.
I don't think Arteezy's stretch out. You see how Sumail looked so sleepy here?
Yeah, we were mocking them a little bit during the draft screen. Not gonna lie. TNC looked so fresh. Like, unbelievably fresh. Yeah.
Maybe that's why they picked him a bad, and he just, like, chills out in his lane, you know? He doesn't have to really think about too much.
I can't play any other hero right now, guys. Like, just give me a bad.
I just need to play something without a brain.
I'm just gonna build Radiance and just kind of stand in these fights. And speaking of fights, Arteezy 0, 1, and 0, if I'm not mistaken here. Yeah, not too involved in the lifestealer, but again, that comes back to the cores, his allies, what sort of heroes he has to try and enable him as a lifestealer. To try and get those early infest kills to try and accelerate your farm. Plus, he went straight from the armlet into the Deso. No, like, middle ground item or anything. They kind of stopped getting towers. Everything just kind of stalled out for EG at that point. They have held the lead, but it is dwindling. And again, we try and make this play.
Mass TPs coming into the shrine. Evil Genius is certainly not going to kill this fast enough. TNC will not have the chance for a rebuttal here. Attempted blink in. SamH thinks better of it though. Now the Warlock Golem's going to drop as Tims goes for the hook shot. Initiation goes for the back line. Managed to grab both of the supports at the same time. Sumail is already low enough. He has to pop his ultimate. It's going to be a long fight. They have to be able to target appropriately. Cuckoo plays a little bit to the side. Let's loose that ultimate.
Oh,
Auto slow down by that Warlock ultimate. It is actually just destroying them. They can't get away from Cuckoo fast enough. Crit's going to be the first one down. Raven's just weaving in and out of this team fight. Going for Sumail. Force forward. Finishes him off. Managed to get the time lapse off as well. Goes through Arteezy. Arteezy is struggling to be able to get a lock hold on anybody here. They are all just too damn fast. Cuckoo's got that extra movement speed. Fear can slow him down though with a break already onto him. The magic damage looks like they should be able to get this kill. Arteezy, woo, dodges that Raze ever so barely, but he's got to worry about Raven. Still looking for that kill. Armlet Toggle will keep Arteezy alive. Raven thinking about poking at him some more, but they've got a shrine to activate. That was not a bad fight for TNC. But I also have to think it wasn't good enough considering the commitment. They dropped the Golem for that fight.
Yeah, much like the last fight, it ends up just being pretty even gold, pretty even experience, and that's gonna favor TNC. You know, the more we go, it's just, it feels better and better for them. It feels like they're just having too many problems inside of EG dealing with these heroes. They can't secure this Roche. Objectives are failing over and over, whereas the objective for TNC right now is basically just stay alive, survive. Don't let them take too much strength away from us.
Evil Geniuses just go right back down to the pit, right? Because we've got no SL.
That's true.
We've got no Golem.
There is Hookshot and Lasso back,
and
though.
1437 is already dead, so
it's okay. He's useless anyways. He's got no ulti. It's fine. He's just delaying.
I mean, have you seen that slow though? That slow is actually destroying these team fights. Looks like Evil Geniuses is going to be able to get this Roche on pit. So last team fight, things come to a bit of a climax. It ends up being a bit of a tie, but at the end of the day, Evil Geniuses have the advantage to just go Roche on again with a bit lower cooldowns on all of their heroes.
That's a tough call to make too. When you like kind of come out even in a fight like that, and it's a little bit scary, and it's like, okay, no, we have to like go back and we can finish this Roche. Nothing's gonna go bad. But there could have been like a bad steal or something like that. They don't have the best counters up against that. However, their decent vision up around that high ground area, they've been preparing for this for obviously quite a long time, was able to make sure that SamH was very unlikely to get in there.
We haven't talked too much about Raven and his progression at it so far, but he does have that Desolator, and it looks like they may have a kill here onto Crit. Good positioning there. Managed to make the instant stun from the Cogs onto Crit, but it looks like it may not be enough. They actually have to TP out on Tims, and Raven, well, they have so little stuns that I can't imagine he's really in any fear of death.
Guys, I sent the Tusk home. We actually have no stuns. Thank you. You're gonna have to let him go.
He does have the Blink Dagger now, though, so maybe. I don't know, man. They just can't.
How much does this Aegis change, I guess, is the question. Does it change that much?
That's a good question, because Arteezy doesn't really seem to be the one dying early in these fights. I'm not sure how threatened he really is.
It almost feels like a false confidence. Like, it feels like they could have just done this before anyway.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Sure.
It looks easier from our perspective, I suppose, but...
And TNC, from TNC's perspective, I think they're willing to let go of a tower tier 1 if they go.
Yeah, and they're just trading. Like, things are looking good in the mid lane. Now they're going to get in the top lane too. It's Deso on Raven to match the one on Arteezy, and they're TPing back to the bottom lane.
Yeah, they've already made the initiation of the bottom lane. They actually want to be able to get this pick off. They know Evil Genius is a bit separated. Chen is just not the kind of hero that can get himself out of a team fight very quickly, so they are going to be able to catch him.
He did get the send home on Arteezy though, so he's able to bail him out, make sure that wouldn't be an issue.
But hell, they almost got an extra hero worth of gold off of all those Chen creeps.
Yeah, that's true.
And now TNC is actually up less than 1K.
That'll be the first time in this whole game that they have taken the lead. Peaking at about 5.5K, but coming right back down. That looks like Genting, I would say. Those are the highlands up there. That's where we're heading later. EG looks like they're ready to leave. They went down the mountain, so that's what happens.
They're done with this tournament. See you later.
Well, SamH, this is familiar territory. You run around the bottom lane.
Oh, snowball punch.
Can they kill
okay, we're gonna try. We're gonna try. They came close.
All right, this game's over. This game's done. It's a Weaver. They have missed the time where he is killable.
Their extent of stuns comes down to like 2 seconds.
I hope 90 GPM can get a scythe.
Man, they really got to get an Abyssal Blade or something. Oh, Warlock Golem going to be dropped here. Arteezy pops the Rage. They're still going to be stuck underneath his slow. Sumail's trying to help him out as well. Trying to kill the Golem. So Golem used there. Nothing really lost there from Evil Geniuses.
Okay.
This may be a good opportunity for them to take another objective here. And honestly, TNC is not that heavily split pushed out the map. They just got that bottom lane going in, but top lane is pretty to the favor of EG. So they can kind of collect things at bottom. They may have an opportunity to force a decent objective fight against TNC. We'll see if they take it.
Yeah, they are still difficult fights for TNC when they're set and postured like this from EG. We talked about the difficulties of the lasso. They don't feel very good. It's kind of Raven who's create that chaos, split them up, and then you can look for that from SamH. You need to find somebody who can't be saved by the shield or the snowball now.
Ooh, okay. He's going to try and grab Misery here. Misery just goes out. Oh,
he actually has
Heal Scepter, but Kuku does have the BKB hook shot through all these heroes. Walrus Punch is going to slow down that ultimate, and Kuku's just not going to be able to get anything off. The physical damage is too much for him to handle. Misery ends up going down his bottom lane. Batrider finishes him off, but Arteezy drops a little low. Raven, though, doesn't want to make a commitment, even though they don't really have the lockdown for him. He can't actually kill anybody, especially since Arteezy has the Aegis and may not be worth it.
That's what they needed, though, from EG, right? They have to focus Kuku. Just get this guy down as they can. And finally, he presented that opportunity. They've been very good about having Raven on this front line and kind of absorbing a lot of the spells that way and then still surviving, kind of baiting them into, like, casting everything on him, and then Kuku comes in for the cleanup. But this time, actually getting Kuku, they're going to need a lot of fights like that, but at least they got it.
So, Sumail, like, we've got little twists here in the items in this game. I think it's kind of interesting. Sumail having problems with the slow, right? Picks up the Blink Dagger. Batrider is going to have some problems, though, with the Snowball. Walrus Punch, that should be enough to kill him. And then the other one, right, is instead of like the Desolator pickup on this Weaver to really make sure that as a split push function as well as just better direct physical damage. A lot better than the Fusel Blade.
Yeah, not very common these days, but working out here. And yeah, so Sumail just eyeing up that idea of just like the sight too, right? Because like that's, they can feel it. They know what's happening with this Raven guy, but getting Kuku, that was what really mattered. And knocking down that Batrider. The Siege, pretty good. He's the big defender. Golem, not up for another 25 seconds. EG have found their moment.
And they have, they'll take the tier 3, back out, opening up shrines. See if they can take the Roshan Shrine as well.
Yeah, that's the dream. This is like our whole game plan over the next 10 minutes now begins focusing on that whole northern area of the map. We're going to start looking for the vision from EG. We wanted them to keep scouting at the pit. They have Chen creeps. That's very easy to do. And then we eliminate the shrine. And then from there, the play starts to come down to things like this Batrider and what he can really get done. SamH is a very hard game. There's a reason he's just split pushing nonstop, because honestly, his combat efforts aren't that effective. It's going to be a rough one.
Shiva's pickup is going to be late for here. So have level 20 race picked up for Kuku, so that's a significant upgrade. Trent, talk to me a little bit about what do you think TNC needs to do, because they're a little bit on the cusp right now of maybe losing the next Roshan fight, then you're going to lose the lane of Rags, and the game starts looking really dark, really quick.
Yeah, it's starting to look like they mostly need some save plays to come out onto the SF. Like, they need to prioritize him maybe a little bit more in those fights. So I'm looking for things like the Clockwork to be like maybe waiting for him to jump the SF from the raiding side and then getting that hook shot in, maybe force staffing the SF, the second force staff, the third force staff, things like that. Extra mobility, and we just need crazy damage out of Raven. Like, he's just eyeing up a Bloodthorn next. He has no reason to go defensive. So I think if he gets to that state, then things are going to look very good for them.
Which, if he does go to this build, there may be that window where the Scythe of Ice rises him. Yeah. Man, what a dream Weaver game. You don't have to go Linken's.
Oh, the Blink Infest,
though. Kuku. Going to be forced to pop the BKB, but he can't actually TP out. He's going to let loose the ultimate. There goes the Walrus Punch, but he has no more HP after he stopped. No opportunity to recast that ultimate, no opportunity to TP out. We saw that in last team fight as well. His Tusk is actually proving to be very, very effective against the SF. Looks like, as a result, though, Raven almost takes that tier 2. Honestly, if I was Sumail, I'm just behind at this point.
I'm thinking they were mistaken as to where EG were. I'm guessing they must have thought EG was playing north right there or something, and that's where they were smoking, because there's no way Kuku should like be down here. This is where Batrider should be playing. This is where Raven should be playing, because they can just Shikuchi away or Force Staff and Firefly away from that snowball initiation, or like even like these blink plays are way less likely. And if they do get the kill, it doesn't feel quite as bad if it's someone like the Batrider. So it's maybe a little bit of an error there. And oh yeah, SamH just flying past the ward. Does find it now though.
Everybody's trying to get an answer to the Weaver. Rod of Atos on the docket there for the Chen. Basher is now here for the Lifestealer, so Lifestealer, he can get a little lucky, may be able to get a kill on the Weaver. They need that just extra little bit of disable, because they've come close. They've brought the Weaver down to like 20% off of just the Tusk Infest combo.
And we haven't even discussed, I guess, the pushing options overall from Raven, too. Like, if they can keep up the split push and they can force EG back this way and delay that, like, the dream goal for TNC is putting pressure on these buildings so that EG are forced back and then we swing it. We take that Roche. For now, though, still not up, but yes, those Chen creeps, they're keeping an eye. The flares, they're keeping an eye. Everyone wondering when it will be time to head over there and have their big battle of the game. Likely the one to decide it.
TNC actually positioning 4 heroes behind Raven's push at the bottom lane. They're gonna sweep through, maybe go through mid.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Kind of expecting that some people will be farming up there, away from like the possibilities of the bottom lane.
Yeah, they show Cuckoo. They think Evil Genius is gonna go for that kill again, and we're gonna meet them. And they may not be too wrong. Evil Genius is gonna start grouping up here.
They're scanning the Ancients, thinking someone over there. Okay, no, nobody there. Where'd they go? And instead it might just be a grab on the tower. Yeah, as he said, extremely low. 73 HP left in that tier 2.
Yeah, I bet Weaver could just backdoor one hit with a Geminate attack.
Beat today, apparently. So all of EG has now clustered down bottom. Unable to check that high ground, though, as their sentry's about to vanish with that ward up there. So that'll be a nice little victory for the side TNC. Keep some ideas what they're up to, but that movement that they just went for, all completely scouted. So it looks like RTZ also scribbling all over the map, pointing out exactly where the dire side are. So both teams have a very good understanding of what the other one's up to, and so they can just abuse that time, get a little bit of farm going for themselves, try and move into those next items.
Evil Geniuses, this time it's their turn. Push into TNC's side of the map. Take away those shrines, take away that last tier 2. We are getting, I think Roshan is up. So we're getting to that.
Just about, yeah.
That was a Chen creep. Misery fooled me.
There it is. But the scythe is done, though. So they're going to see that with the flare. Simply pinged out there. Do smoke instantly.
Blink Sight, that could be really tough for
that could just be game winning.
The Weaver to deal with.
Especially when you're blinking with a Tusk like this with the Lifestealer, and then like everyone collapses on that, right? Yeah. When he like bursts out, and then Samil can kind of spot exactly what he wants. The second Raven starts to lay into him, he's gonna blink and Scythe him right away. But then the question is, what's the fault from the Scythe? Because again, if the Tusk isn't there, if he's not layering with everyone, I'm not even sure it's gonna make that much of a difference. It'll be almost just like a damage delaying factor in the engagement. But Flare comes out, they are scouted, and we return to the epic battle that is over.
Poor Roche. I was about to say, that's a quick epic battle there, Trent. EG.
That was the sequel. They're never as good. That one was terrible. My god, the first fight was much better. That went on for hours.
Well, let's hope you get a third installation of this series.
EG certainly hoping that won't be the case, because this is their time to shine. Cheese on the Viper. The Fear wasn't already annoying enough to deal with. By the way, 9-2-6 on Fear. Gonna give a little shout out. You know, he's been having some rough days where he just had to play DP and the DK over and over. Didn't feel too good. But now he was playing on the Lycan, doing fantastic, playing very aggressive, getting a lot of work done. And in these fights, maybe not the most aggressive, but he's playing cleanup. He's sniping everyone as they go down. He's not dying too often. So it's looking pretty good on this one. He has taken over that net worth lead too.
Damn, that was fast. He already has the Lincolns on Raven. Oh, they're going to go for the grab here, but there is the Aphotic Shield to be able to stop that lasso. Force Staff gets Tins out of a nasty hole that he was in with those cogs. With the Golem being dropped, they're immediately going to focus down the Golem, take it out, but RTZ still stuck inside those cogs, still taking a lot of damage, but managed to get the Infest out. Now Cuckoo lets loose the ultimate. Samael's forced to pop it on the front lines, but he's going to be Yule Scepter, and he's going to be low, but he immediately blinks out. That's where that Blink Dagger comes into play.
If they're all surviving through those ultimates, though, EG feeling a lot better about the situation.
Yeah, certainly. Golem, no SF ulti. Evil Geniuses just need to kind of heal up again. They can go right back in like 30 seconds. They'll have pretty much all their ultimates up.
This is almost like that pressure smoke moment if you're TNC, where you want to like go out or something and try and get some kill when they like spread up, but EG not going to give that opportunity. Plus they don't really have anything in the tank left to do it, right? They did use the hook shot, they did use the lasso. Hook shot will be back in 10 seconds. Same with the lasso.
Poking at RTZ. Remember, he does have that extra life with the Aegis. Cuckoo actually blinking forward there. It's already taking damage, kind of putting himself on the front lines here. He's down to about half HP, but Evil Genius is a bit nervous there, especially with available bonds on them. not wanting to fully commit to a fight just yet. Smail's going to make the infast bomb opportunity with the side device, but they have the defensive force staff to be able to open things up. Nice poke shot in from Tims. It may cost him his life, but he gets a good cog situation, but TNC are not able to take advantage of that because they blasted off Smail, pulled it back to the tier 4s, managed to get the pick up. What the hell? He managed to get the deny off of all that damage. Unbelievable, but they're completely slowed down. They may have lost the racks, but maybe TNC can still win the fight. They're slowed down, but they need more HP on Kuko, so he has to go back. Raven is trying to lay out more damage. Man, RTZ drops so low too. He's armlet toggling his way to safety. Kuku comes forward with the Blink Dagger, immediately pops the cheese on Fear, so he's going to be good. He was positioning himself to make sure that TNC, if they push forward, they'd end up having to go through the Viper first.
Oh, that ward spawning Raven, so he'll have to back away, and that means he can't pop that Aegis, so they're actually going to have that for a long time. 2 minutes or so here, which is pretty damn good for EG. And they were successful in taking their melee racks, and now a 9k lead. Maybe came a bit later than EG might have been expecting, but they have finally made their way into the high ground. However, the whole idea of the split push and everything still remains for TNC. There's a chance that that won't be enough.
It always does feel like Evil Geniuses makes these kind of a little bit more aggressive lineups their own in the way that they are willing to slow down the pace, where other teams are trying to pick it up at 20 minutes. Yeah. Evil Geniuses, they don't get impatient, right? If the enemy team does not offer them opportunities like this one on Chen, then they just don't bite, right? They don't force it.
Crit, again with that ward. He spots the Warlock and he's like, it's not even worth it. Let's go kill somebody else.
Kuku forced to pop a BKB here. And the Chen pickup was not the biggest one in the world. In fact, I would almost say the BKB may be more important than a Chen. Jump in onto SamH, snowball forward onto him. He's got the Old Scepter, and they're going to try and buy him time here with the golem being dropped. He was able to blink out, but Tims is fully committed here. RTZ's trying to get himself out of those cogs, trying to deal with a bug right now. He's trying to take it out, but there goes that Aegis. Raven, he was also trying to deal with Fear and Samael in that high ground area. But they've taken the Aegis, and they should just be happy with that, honestly. But Evil Geniuses, they're going to look at this and say, Golem's down again.
Yeah, how much are they willing to risk? In terms of being close to items right now, they just got that fresh Abyssal on Arteezy, so they might be pretty happy going for a fight. Misery's going to be back up. Even if they make some push in, he'll still be able to ulti, of course, from global range, so he's going to be running around just trying to find his creeps for a bit anyway.
Travel for our Bat Rider. That seems much needed. TNC, I think the last thing they want is to be forced into a 5-man defense at their own pace again. But this is the combination with the Abyssal Blade. It gives them the extra stun duration. They will manage to bring down the Weaver. Oh, and they just hit another big peak too. The plus 250 aphotic shield on the Abaddon. That is tough. Some say
the best talent in the game, I've heard people playing. Yeah. Can't blame him. 450 absorbed.
Yeah, just a bounce back. It makes a good split pushing tool, makes a great team fighting tool. Incredible save, incredible damage. All on top of the fact that he also has Insight, which initiator. This kind of build, Abaddon's pretty much everything for you.
I like it. They needed that too, though, because it was a bit of an awkward, feeling mid-game there. But they identified their issue. They fixed it. A couple different item choices.
Man, how many other teams would have panicked against this Weaver, And God, guys, we have the disables.
And they
we need to try and end this game now, right? And
they're
EG's like, nah, we got this. We'll just itemize towards the late game.
Talents have changed a lot of that too, where people feel way more comfortable in these situations because of those changes that happen to heroes.
Kuku dodging Viper Strike here from Fear. Fear Blade put on Arteezy.
Chen hooks there to block the hooks. He's trying to get in the way.
Yeah. But they will manage to take that tier 3. Right as Raven about to come back to life. A 13,000 gold lead right now for Evil Geniuses, 21-15 to their favor as well.
That's for old TNC. They won't stop dancing on their base.
And Pimp really is the best observer.
I know.
Every single time the game locks up,
gets it.
Alright, that wasn't the magic touch, JJ. Good job.
He found it eventually. I've reconnected too. Hello.
Welcome back to the game, Trent.
Glad to be here.
You're glad to be here at ESL One Genting?
Raven heading his way down bottom. And we're just chilling. Everyone's just relaxing. Just waiting their inevitable death, perhaps. Is it an inevitable death? for TNC?
I don't want to think so.
It's hard to tell.
But it's hard to see with the way that the trajectory of the game and the way Evil Geniuses has managed to win a lot of these later team fights.
If I want to win this game, if I look at this, just like the pure heroes on TNC, I feel like Bat Rider has to do so much. And ooh,
Missed hook shot.
oh, this looks
like
familiar.
get the Chen though.
The old E-Blade on Chen.
Oh, they're actually going to try and fight this one with some mail, making the initiation forward. Cuckoo pops the BKB and lives loose that ultimate. They've already lost the Warlock, but that's okay as long as they keep their damage deals alive. Looks like Tim's going to have too much trouble with that Viper strike. 2 of the sports down, but the cores are going to be able to get away. Fortunately, Cuckoo was able to blink in time. Raven tries to cut the creep wave.
Yeah, they got a few with him now, though.
Unfortunately, it's not enough. Evil Geniuses have creeps inside the base, and they're immediately going to go for that top melee racks. But maybe they've gone a little too far. Nah, Samael's got the blink dagger. He's able to stop that lasso, and RTZ really hasn't taken that much damage. Samael, he's going to be targeted instead, hoping to be able to pop his ultimate. But, oh no, Fear's right on top of Cuckoo. They're going to be able to bring him down. Immediately goes for the buyback, but he's not going to have a lot of those souls. He may not be that effective, so it's up to Raven to be able to finish off Samael here for the Aphotic Shield. It's just taking up way too much damage. He's trying desperately to finish him up, and another Aphotic Shield's going to come up. He's chasing outside of the base while his team is dying just to try and get this one kill. He's got another Aphotic Shield. It's just not going to happen. Give up on it, Raven. Try and get someone else, and that's going to be Fear. He's going to be low one. Cuckoo going for it. BKB pop. Managed to finish off one of the cores of Evil Geniuses. Go next. RTZ. He's the next target. He's got Rage down. Goes for the infest. Yeah, goes for the infest.
Samael's got his ulti back in 3. He's almost ready to head back in here.
Oh, is he really thinking about it here? He's going to try and pop that Lincoln's. Open up the opportunity for disables onto the Weaver. Enough for RTZ to pop out. Finish him off. Cuckoo is up next. Fortunately, Cogs. Good play by Tims. Snags RTZ, so he couldn't pursue that SF. Another buyback forced out of TNC, but they will stay alive.
Yep. Fear, excellent job. He's finding these moments like that's only his 3rd death of the game, and yet he's playing so aggressive. You know, 3 buybacks used. Yeah, has been highlighting here. Things looking very desperate here for TNC, but they got the melee racks again there. And it's all because Fear. He's just like positioning himself in between the melee racks and the fountain. And there's like 3 heroes around him, and they're hitting into him, but he's just so tanky, and RTZ's able to just wail away on those buildings for the victory.
Oh boy. He's got Octarine now.
Oh my god.
So we were watching like Raven trying to deal damage into Samael. He was getting in like 1 hit on his actual HP pool between every Aphotic Shield. Now it feels like he actually doesn't do enough damage to stop the Aphotic Shield and how much it's going to be able to tank. Now that it's only down to 4.5 second cooldown.
And that 25% lifesteal also going to be quite nice with this current build. So yeah, it does seem we will find 3rd Roche here. And not really a game where 3rd Roche is going to do too much for the... I guess there's a chance, you know, there's some Warlock fight you might win, but it's only going to be 1 fight, honestly, if you end up winning something. There's no Shaman here, there's no, like, Hail Mary, like, okay, maybe we can actually pull this one out of the bag somehow with the Shard.
I mean, they gotta fight around Roshan,
yeah.
right? This
feels a lot better than the high ground.
This is a necessity. But TNC start positioning themselves.
Tornado's already scouting them out.
They really got to get in there already. Smells jump forward. He is going to be able to spook. 1437, they just burst him out with the magic damage. Now, he didn't have the golem anyway. So TNC, not a huge loss there, but they can't afford to lose Cuckoo here, who's already popped the Shadow Blade, trying to get away. Good use of the 4 staffs. And he will manage to make it just ahead of Samael. Raven going to be forcing the time lapse as well. So Roshan is still alive. Evil Geniuses go back from whence they came.
And look at this vision too. They see Tims, everything he's doing up here. He's slowly moving across, and he's got an empty slot. He's thinking things about this Aegis, maybe the Shard. He's quite wrong though.
You couldn't be more right, Trent, and he could not be more wrong. Just goes in the jungle, finds his death, but honestly, TNC needed to make some sort of extreme YOLO play. He needed to be able to make that ultimate hook shot in, grab the Aegis, grab the refresher shard. Instead, it's going to be Raven who's going to be forced to try and create some space. He's going to go for that bottom lane push, hoping that he can somehow stop the flood of Evil Geniuses running over the TNC base.
It's a hell of a Hail Mary, but
yeah,
there's only so much you can do. We'll see how it all plays out. Perhaps there's a chance you can win 27k down.
It's a flying pig.
They do say when pigs fly, so maybe TNC are going to win, actually. Wow, okay, we figured it out.
Cuckoo on the back lines with a double damage BKB pop for the Walrus Punch. Stalled him up long enough for the Invisible Blade to be there. And Golem buys him a little bit of time, forces that forward. No, the magic damage comes in. Miscoil finishes him off. Fear jumps forward, managed to grab 1437, stopping him from channeling that slow. they take the Weaver down too, so that's it. Evil Geniuses will take game number 1 at 48 minutes in.
Yeah, very impressive stuff coming up for them.
They really just took full mid. The fact that we're looking at this, and we probably could have said, hey, past 40 minutes, that's when TNC is going to start winning. But Evil Geniuses, they just grew and grew more and more of a lead and itemized really well.